please say something to Chess. Okay, thank you. Please say again, Ray. Okay, thank you. We're ready with testing.
Okay, thank you. Hello everyone, welcome to our chant class for Asia. Let's see, DTT has a question. Go ahead, DTT. Maybe not.
Yeah, we don't have I'm sorry.
No questions? Okay.
No questions.
Anyone has any questions then? Five.
Thank you, Master. I have a question related to work, not related to chant.
Okay.
Question is, what would I do in the situation where we encounter mom have car accident, end up going in for labor? We do an emergency C-section for mom and baby. And when baby deliver, mom's still in coma and we have to take care of mom. But at the same time, baby have to go through a CPR and massive blood transfusion for the newborn. At that moment, I was seeing Dad crying and hopeless. At the same time, I was thinking maybe I need to pray something for my patient and the baby.
Mm-hmm.
But I was frozen because I say, if I pray for the baby to survive, what if this baby will be survived with a brain dead and will not have a quality of life? So in those situations, I chose not to pray for anything, and in my mind, I just need to do something to comfort the dad and the family. So what should I do in that situation, Master?
It's kind of late, isn't it? Doesn't matter anymore?
Baby is still in the ICU.
She's still in the ICU, okay. I don't know. Anyone has any ideas? Well, it's a very tough situation. What are we supposed to do? If I were you, I would still pray. Because this is way beyond us, and therefore all we have left is we leave it to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to decide how to respond to the suffering we experienced, and as well as our wishes. Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, when they respond to our requests with compassion. So they use their own wisdom and they take into consideration all the factors involved. And so that when they respond, it's to accommodate all the conditions possible. That's all. So it may not exactly the way we want, we expect, but that's all that's possible. Okay. So in that case, what I'm hearing is that you have an attachment to helping, but your attachment is in the form of helping and expecting an outcome a certain way. Okay? And so trying to help is a good thing, but insisting on a certain outcome is not necessarily the way to help. Okay, and that's what I heard. Heard is that you want a certain way, and what if you cannot get it? Then you're not sure you should be praying. And the nature of the prayers, whether it's in Buddhism, whether it's in another religion, is that you leave it to someone who's higher authority than you to decide what to do, how to solve the situation, to resolve it. Okay, and so I would still pray. Why were you?
In this,
so our role then in those situations is simply to say that we have access to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and maybe another person there, maybe your doctor, maybe Catholic, he might pray to his God as well. Okay, so many things will happen, but all we do is that we try our best and leave it to the higher authorities, and then we let go.
so
Because what I'm hearing is that you still attached to the results before you pray, and you still attached to the results after the results happen. Okay, so your attachment is pretty heavy.
seeing them suffer, and I don't.
That's not very China. We attach, we do something about it, and then we drop it.
My problem is I don't know what to pray. So simply, can we just say, Buddha, please help? Is that?
Yeah, what you reacted to was a suffering of a couple of beings.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, you try from your skill set, you try to help out, and that's what you did. And then you said, it's still not enough. I still want more. And that's when you say, okay, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, you pray to them and say, please help them. And then you drop it.
Got it.
Okay, that's what I would do.
Yes.
I'm done. I say, no longer my problem.
Okay. Thank you, Master. Thank you.
You agree?
I agree.
Yep. This is a chant. The spirit of a chant is we try our best, okay, folks, then we drop it. Okay, because there's a lot more going on than we realize.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so that's why let go. Okay,
Yes.
that's what the Buddha teaches. After all, okay, it's just like it's not taught in the Buddhist circles because they don't realize that everyone is too attached to good results. Sometimes bad results happen with the Buddha's help.
Mm-hmm.
We leave it up to them to decide what's best.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Master.
So sometimes bad results have to happen first, and then good results will happen later. Maybe so. Many different combinations and permutations. You don't have to worry about it. They know, they see. They work with many more variables than us, many more factors than us. Therefore, we can let go. Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Master.
All right. You're welcome. Anyone else? Okay. JC question.
This question is from J.Y. Lee. I have a question. I experienced 4 or 5 small car accidents 2 years ago. I didn't hurt any. After the accident, I am very afraid to drive, although I need. How can I overcome this fear?
Fear of driving. You had 5 small accidents like fender benders or scratches or what? What's the nature of the accident? I'm curious. 5 of them. I mean, that's impressive. I mean, sorry. That's a lot. What happened?
Master, I'm Lee, and one car accident, some dump truck hit me behind, but
Okay.
I was safe. And second one car hit me on my side, and another car hit my bag.
My what?
And my bag,
Your bag?
my car bag. And
Car's bag. Okay. Whatever
yeah,
it
yeah,
is.
yeah. And one accident, I am on autobike strike, but nobody hurt.
Okay.
And
5th one.
fifth one, I didn't remember, but it's small.
It's small.
But the car accident happened. How can I say? 1 month and another next month, and the next month, like that. The car accident happened like very, how can I say, in 1 month, 5 accidents repeatedly. Yeah, yeah,
I see.
yeah,
That's a lot of accidents in
Yeah,
so many times, and each time you are not hurt or you escaped unscathed. Yes. Okay.
I didn't hurt.
Okay, you didn't hurt. That's very good. Then why are you afraid? You know, they tried 5 times already, and you're not hurt. Why are you scared? I don't get it. You're indestructible.
I felt that something bad would happen, and it might be the sign. So after the accident, I couldn't drive far. I couldn't drive any place where I don't know.
Okay, very good. Have you talked to a crazy people doctor?
Have you talked? What?
Yeah, have you consulted with a doctor who deals with crazy people?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have. Very good.
I mean,
And what
about the accident,
what were you
or-
told?
No.
No?
I didn't talk this accident to. I didn't consult this peer with any people. Not with a specialist.
Wow, her English, her vocabulary is impressive. I use talk, she used consulted. I'm impressed. Okay, continue, sorry.
Oh no. I talked to many people. I talked to some people, but they were just surprised.
Okay.
Or they just said, "It's okay. It would be okay," they said. But for me, it's a little bit scary still.
Uh-huh. You scared of what? Get to an accident or getting hurt?
Both.
Both.
Or sometimes I'm afraid to make accident by myself. I mean,
Yeah.
I can
course.
hit somebody or I can hit some car because the car accident happens very fast and I couldn't expect that fast. I didn't realize what happened, but it happened in a very short moment,
Yes.
and I was afraid to be dead.
Okay, right. It's too fast for you to react. I understand that. The new vocabulary word is react. Okay? So, but I still don't, so your fear is more of getting into an accident or getting hurt, do you think? See, I sound like a shrink, don't I?
Getting hurt or get accident?
Which one are you more afraid of?
Get accident.
Not getting hurt.
Not. Sometimes I imagine get hurt, but get accident is more scary.
Okay, but let me try to understand. 5 times you got 5 accidents and you didn't get hurt. So why would you be afraid of getting accidents? I don't understand the reasoning behind it. Because you're afraid that the next accident you could get hurt?
Yeah.
Then the answer should be you're afraid to get hurt, not get an accident. Yes?
Frankly, I do not understand the difference between two. I couldn't understand. I feel that they are same.
I'm trying to understand your reasoning, that's all. Okay? Okay, fine. So she's afraid to drive. That's a problem. Okay? Don't drive. Can you not drive?
I need to drive because I live in a rural area and I need to work, and so to work I need to drive. I don't want to drive now, but I should to survive.
Okay, so you have to drive. Okay, okay. So you have no choice. So whether you're afraid or not, you still have to drive.
Yeah.
So how does being afraid gonna help your driving?
How gonna? Can you tell me more detail?
Okay. My point being that since you must drive to go to work, you must work, you must drive. And therefore, whether you're going to get an accident or not, your fear is not as important because you still need to drive. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, it doesn't matter if you're fearful or not. You still have to drive.
Correct.
So if you learn Chan, then Chan very simple. You simply say, I have to drive. This fear is irrelevant. I still have to drive. So what's the point in being fearful? Okay? Yeah. Another way to deal with it is to get some help. Okay? Meaning that you can get some blessings, protections from, for example, in Buddhism we have certain type of dharmas available for you to protect yourself. This is beyond chant. Okay, chant is starting point. We're learning more tools. So in Buddhism, we can have, for example, when you recite, when you drive, you can recite. I would get asked for protection. Okay, in Buddhism, for example, if you drive, and this applies to all of you, if you drive, I would highly recommend that you recite Medicine Master Buddha's name. Okay, when you do that, the Buddha will be with you. And therefore, that Buddha will help prevent you from dying prematurely from accidents. And this is something that I feel that should be shared with everyone, whether you're Buddhist or not, you're Catholic, you are Muslim, so forth. When you drive, if you're afraid of accidents, getting into accidents and getting in trouble from your driving, from your flying, from your taking the train, you're taking the bus, for example, any sort of transportation, you should be reciting Medicine Master Buddha's name. Okay, in Chinese, Yao Shi Ru Lai. Korean is what? A시아를. Okay. And so forth. When you do that, then the Buddha will be protecting you. Okay.
Master, I'm a Buddhist, so I repeated the Buddha's name already, but it didn't have it has effect, but still I have the fear. It didn't cure my fear perfectly. So is that means I didn't have any enough faith?
Okay.
Do I need to more faith?
Okay, you said you recite the Buddha's name. Is that Amitabha or Yaksayole?
I recite Kwanseum Bosai.
Wanchen Bosai.
Yeah.
See, it worked already. That's why you have such minor accidents. 5 times. And every 5 times is one Bodhisattva who went there and put her body between you and the other car.
It makes sense.
Okay, so it worked. How can you say that you have not adequate faith? Okay, it worked. Okay, so my point being that it's amazing you had 5 accidents so quickly in a very short time span and nothing serious happened, meaning that it worked. Okay? There's you still are reciting when you're driving, right?
Yeah, I try.
There you go. You don't try. You're doing it, yes?
I'm trying, but sometimes I forgot. But I'm trying.
Okay. The only thing you should be afraid of is to be afraid of forgetting. Don't be afraid that you'll die. That doesn't make sense. Okay. And so yes, when you recite, a thought will arise and say, what if I get in trouble? What if the Bodhisattva is busy? What if the Bodhisattva is asleep or something? Ignore all those thoughts. That is chant. Okay? You go back to YongHua Busan and you keep reciting. When those thoughts arise, those thoughts of fear arise, you ignore them. You keep reciting. That's all. That's all you do. And when you keep on doing that, your fear will go away. And if you have any problem, you talk to the old abbot there. He's an expert in YongHua Busal. And if it doesn't work, complain to him. He has experience complaining as well. Okay? Okay, so that's what has worked for you already. Now let me address the fear for you. Okay? Your fear is totally unfounded. Okay? Don't blame it on lack of faith, because clearly you've been reciting and you've been receiving protection, and therefore the faith is adequate enough for you to be reciting, to have recited. So the fear there is basically, let me put it this way for you, not you. So ignore those thoughts of fear. It's that simple. Okay? When the thoughts of fear when you're driving comes up, okay? Or before you drive, thoughts of fear arise. What if I'm going to get into an accident today? You ignore it, okay? Do something else. And when you're driving, the thoughts will arise again. You ignore them as well. And you ignore them by, while driving, going back to Wan Yin Bodhisattva's name. That's all, okay? When you do that, eventually your fear will go away naturally. And the old abbot will reaffirm it for you. Because if you have any fear at all, you keep reciting the Bodhisattva's name, the fear will go away. Right? Old abbot, better confirm it with him quickly. He's going to go Vietnam soon, and he may not come back.
A Di Đà Phật, trong kinh Phổ Môn, tất cả trong kinh Phật đều có nói. Khi mình niệm một danh hiệu Phật Bồ Tát đó, phước báo vô lượng vô biên. Thì cái nạn của cô hay là cái gì đó của chúng ta đó là cái chuyện nhân quả phải trả thôi. Nhưng mà Ngài giúp cho cô nhẹ nhàng bớt là đủ rồi, chứ không khả nào mà phi hết 100% đâu. Tôi đã từng gặp rồi. Cho nên phải tin tuyệt đối là trong kinh có nói niệm chớ sanh nghi. Khi cô niệm lên phước báo, cô một lần niệm thôi, phước báo vô lượng vô biên rồi. Mà cô niệm bao nhiêu phút thì cái đó nó đổi cho cái nạn tai cô chết hay bị thương đó. Mà làm sao free được, tại vì nhân quả cô đã tạo hết rồi. Thì rõ ràng 5 lần cô không có bị gì hết là cái rõ ràng được gia hộ rồi, chứ đâu phải giúp cho cô 100% là khỏi đâu. Tôi đã từng bị rồi. Không phải làm lần nào cũng được đâu, nhưng mà nó giảm mất cho mình.
Amitabha, in a Universal Door chapter or any Buddhist sutra, you have found that when you recite the Buddha's or Bodhisattva names, you will accumulate infinite amount of blessing, uncountable amount of blessings. About the car accident, it is just like cause and effect. However, when you recite the Buddha name, it's not like 100% you cure from that effect that you've caused, but because you recite the Buddha name, that help you reduce the effect. That's why it's not going to be all totally free, but it will help you. For example, the case that 5 times you get into car accident, but you receive the protections. Nothing happened to you. So that's why in the Universal Door chapter, there's a saying that recite, don't give right to a thought of doubt. So myself personally have experienced that. It's not 100% off. However, it will reduce the effect for you.
Okay, so in conclusion, you have to drive because you must. And when you drive, you've been doing the right thing, doing the right way, recite the Bodhisattva's name. And if you have an accident and get hurt, we know why, don't we? We all know it's the old abbot's fault. All right? Does it help?
Yeah, thank you very much. It helped.
See? You're welcome. Any questions? Any other questions? Yes. 4.
I have a lot of problem lately in my life.
Only lately? You have a lot of problems.
Yes, it's not lately, but it was happened since 2022 until now.
Okay.
And then now my health is. Sorry, can I speak Vietnamese much clearer?
Yeah, we have translation.
Bây giờ sức khỏe của con nó rất là yếu. Giống như là con bị heart injury, bị cái đầu á. Thành ra bây giờ mỗi lần mà nghe tiếng chuông mỏ thì không có được, phải đeo cái noise cancellation để block bớt. Xong rồi á, thì mấy người bạn của con hồi trước giờ á, thì con hay niệm Phật A Di Đà với Ngài Quan Âm. Thì xong rồi sư phụ Master có dạy là bây giờ con phải bow rồi niệm Đức Phật Dược Sư. Thì con có question là như vậy. 2 question. Thứ nhất á, là nếu mà con niệm sáng sớm hay là mỗi lần buổi chiều tối á, mà con niệm á, thì thường con niệm Đức Phật A Di Đà trước khoảng 10-15 lần. Sau đó thì con niệm, con lễ lại sám hối, rồi con lại niệm Đức Phật Dược Sư sám hối. Sau đó thì con niệm Ngài Quan Âm. Thì mấy người bạn con nói là như vậy thì tạp niệm quá. Nếu mà như vậy thì không biết vị nào sẽ tới rescue.
Okay.
Coi như là mình cầu cứu nhiều vị quá, thành ra là mấy vị cũng confused hay là mình cũng confused. Yeah.
Very good translation.
Amitabha Master, so my health right now is very weak. It's like I have a head injury. Therefore, every time I hear the bell, the sound of the bell hitting or the woodfish, I have to wear noise cancellation device. So back then, I was taught to recite Amitabha's Buddha's name and Kuan Yin Bodhisattva's name. Now that Master taught me to bow to the Buddha and recite Medicine Master's Buddha's name. So I have 2 questions. First, in the morning or in the evening, usually I would recite Amitabha Buddha's name 10 to 15 times. Then I bow and repent. Then I recite Medicine Master Buddha's name, and then I bow and repent. Similarly, I recite Kuan Yin's Bodhisattva's name. So then my friend told me that I have a lot of scattered thought because I've been recite a lot of Buddha's name. So therefore, I don't know which Buddha or Bodhisattva will come and rescues me because I've been reciting many names. So then they might be confused.
Very good. You know, I had the same issue as well myself when I first started, because in my master's Chinese temple, we taught many Dharma doors, not just one in, not just Amitabha, it's not Medicine Master alone, but there's also Manjushri, Universal Worthy, Great Strength, you name it, and on and on and on. Okay, so I was confused as well. I said, so which one am I supposed to recite? Okay, luckily for me, I'm not as sick as you are. What happened to your head? I'm curious.
Yeah, at first I very normal, but I have a history of relapse on. Dạ mới đầu thì con cũng bình thường thôi, nhưng mà con có cái triệu chứng là history về relapse, về depression á, thì it happened multiple times. Bắt đầu từ
So
năm.
nothing physically wrong, just depression, right?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Okay.
And then dạ chưa có là thì the last time á, thì con không có cần uống thuốc cho tới 11 năm, nhưng mà sau đó thì bố con chết rồi, con bị gãy tay, rồi con đổi job, rồi con mất job, rồi con bị anxiety lên cao quá, rồi thì ông bác doctor psychiatrist á, thì ông recommend, tại vì cái body của con sensitive to anti-depression medicine. So con try khoảng mười mấy loại mà nó không có work, thành ra nó mới dùng cái máy gõ, và họ gõ nó gọi là transduction magnetic, thì họ nói là cái đó là cái technology mới, thì nếu mà họ gõ trên đầu á, khoảng 50 lần, 50 week, 50 tuần lễ, thì cái con không có cần uống thuốc. Thì khi mà con go through cái session á, thì tới khoảng 20 session thì con bị brain injury, tức là chịu không nổi nữa mà nhức đầu, rồi xong rồi anxiety nó lên more, rồi depression thì con it getting worse, thành ra họ không có gõ lên đầu nữa, nhưng mà it happen là bây giờ con bị như vậy.
Có kiện không? That's a malpractice. In the US, you get sued for malpractice.
Not very popular in the US. Nó gọi là TMS, master. And because of the session and the depression, so right now là buổi tối con hay bị lạnh lắm, bất cứ trường hợp nào, rồi con weak lắm, con không có thể nào mà any big noise là giống như nó withdraw all the energy out of body của con.
Are you the only one that has this kind of symptoms, or are there others? Medically speaking, are there papers or people?
Dạ, hình như có mình con bị.
Okay. Okay, so she went through because of depression, and they tried all sorts of antidepressants, and none of them work, and they have some kind of new technology when they squeeze her brains out or something like that, something physical, and then she got hurt because of that. And I said it's malpractice. It's crazy. People, if you try all the antidepressants and none of them works, then nothing works. They should know better, but it's not their business. Their business is to try new technology and prolong your treatment. The mechanical thing is, anything mechanical is not going to work. Okay, because you're dealing with a depression ghost, and none of them understands it. Okay? The therapists are ill-equipped to deal with depression. Okay, and so, and it's too bad. It's not just the fact you're harassed and you've been suffering, but also the fact that they've been giving you antidepressants is a very bad idea, unless you're suicidal.
Dạ, nhiều khi con cũng có cái suicide, có ý nghĩ là giống như
having a thought of
dạ.
suicide is not a big deal, but when you are intent upon killing yourself, then the use of antidepressant and those kind of brute force intervention are helpful. But regularly, thoughts of killing yourself does not justify your taking antidepressant, as far as I'm concerned. And again, I'm not qualified. I cannot give you, I'm not qualified to give you medical advices. But we've been dealing a lot with depression because I have severe depression myself. I had this severe depression myself, not anymore. Okay, and I had thoughts of killing myself as well, but
how can you stop that thought?
you don't stop. You ignore them. This is why you learn to ignore them. What happens to that lady before you who from Kaylan who says, I have these fearful thoughts? I didn't want to tell her that. I would only try to tell her indirectly it is not hers. It's someone else's thoughts. It's the ghost thoughts who planted the thoughts of fear into her. Okay? And I taught her, you don't even need to know. You only need to find a way to ignore them, no matter how loud they are. That's all. You don't need to do anything. Yes, it's suffering, but that all they are trying to do is to convince you that you need to do something to add more, to compound your suffering. It's a lot. It's too complicated, and you don't need to understand. Okay, but the point being that when just a rule of thumb, I don't mind sharing it with many people, with others. That is, if you take a bunch of depressants, none of it works, then nothing works. You need something else. Okay, and so in your case, that's what happened. That's what you experienced because they tried something else, and that might work for some people temporarily, but it won't work forever. Okay, because unfortunately for us, for you, the mental illnesses like depression and manic depression and so forth are beyond what the therapists are trained to handle. And I say stupid things, so please don't take it too seriously. I have a big mouth, okay? And my disciples have got used to it by now, so I'm getting bolder and bolder. My point being that there's, as far as mental illnesses go, the only thing, I always maintain it, when I started teaching a dozen of years ago, plus years ago, I said, the only thing that the professionals, medical staff professionals, are good at and can justify their existence is they get these certification, these meds and these things, and these facilities, asylum facilities, is in order to prevent you from killing yourself. Those severe cases, yes, they're useful, okay, because they are successful. Their success rate is very, very high. You have to give it to them, okay? But beyond that, if it's not anyone who's intent upon hurting himself, okay? But anyone only has thoughts of hurting themselves, of feeling bad, feeling sick, and so forth. And when it's prescribed as depression, they cannot help. That's my experience so far. Okay? You have to turn to Buddhism for help. For example, I wasn't there, but if you were to go and see my late Chinese teacher, I said, Master YongHua, please help. I'm suffering, okay? I'm suffering so much. He would just go like this, and your depression will be gone. I know it's so far-fetched for you, but I don't care if you believe it or not. Okay, but that's him. Because when he does that, you know what happens? He chases, your depression goes away. That's what he does. And what he doesn't tell his students is that your depression goes. Doesn't bother you, but it bothers his disciples. So he moved this problem from you to someone else. Till you see results, but the problem is still over here. Because this depression ghost is not going to go to him because they can't do anything to him. So they have to go to his disciples, like the Republican here. You see? It's fascinating. You guys only are so myopic. You only see your own thing. But actually, in the bigger picture, okay, it has to be resolved. You cannot make it go away. It only goes away from you. But the suffering goes to somewhere else. And because he won't suffer from this depression thing here, he's way beyond this your ghost. Okay? Your ghost can only bother people like you, low level. But for people like him, who's way up here, they cannot reach him. So what are they going to do if they leave you? Or where are they going to go? To his disciples, who they can harass. So I learned from that, by the way. I learned from watching all that and looking at all that. And I said, this is not the way to solve the problem. The problem is in Buddhism, we recognize it's a karmic retribution. And we pay off our karmic debts. You do that, you get better and better and better. Medication is not going to get better. Medication only compresses your emotions. That lady there who asked a question earlier, she could compress her fear even more by taking the medication. But when you do that, okay, you become a zombie. It's no good. And as soon you stop taking your medication, your meds, they come back. The problem is not resolved. But people don't see that. People are too short-sighted. They don't have the big picture. That's why for your problem, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Okay? It can be fixed. You have to pay your karmic debts. That's all there is to it. If you do that, you get better. And that's our experience the last dozen of years or so. People I know used to take these many pills every single day. Not just depression, they also paranoia, these many medications every single day. And they stopped. Lead a normal life. It's possible. Okay? So when we tell you these things, is because from empirical data, from proven cases, okay, how we resolve these problems. And that's when I say the sweeping statement like therapists are ill-equipped to handle your mental illnesses, because that's what I've seen so far. I don't see anything in your near horizon who can help you. So therapists, for example, are now turning to mindfulness meditation, and it helps the patients. But again, up to a certain way only. Because again, you can meditate, you can get away from them temporarily, but when you exit your meditation, you're back here again, and they're still here waiting for you. Or they can stop you from meditating, you see? So it's not how you solve the problem.
Yeah, I will wait for the translator.
What?
Yeah, but the thing is that one thing that you haven't answered my question, that which so if I chanting too many Buddha and Bodhisattva, then so
What
I
I'm
just
trying to tell you is that you need help. If you get to need to take so many antidepressants, you need help.
Yeah.
Reciting Buddha's name is not going to help you. Okay, they're way too strong for you. Number one.
Yes.
Number two, I'm glad you reminded me. Okay, I had the same problem to myself. I asked myself, when I'm in trouble, who am I supposed to recite? Not just you. I'm very curious. I learned so many things, and it's something called you know too much. I talked to this guy, and I said he's been with me for over 10 years. And then all of a sudden his brother said, but this monk said so and so. I said, say what? How dare you quote me someone who's like, I don't even know. And so you know too much. Okay? I know too much. And there's a reason for it. The reason for it is that the answer to your question simply is, I don't know. I mean, no one told me yet. What's the answer? So what do you want me to tell you? The answer is, one of them will help you. Not all 3, not all 10. One of them is enough. So if you're there, at that moment you recite whoever you recite, that person will be obligated to help you. Get it? If you recite right, they'll help you. Doesn't matter. So this is where people don't understand why we teach you all these things, 42 hands and eyes and this and that. Is because it doesn't matter at your level. Okay? Don't listen to all those advices. Says, who's going to come and help you? At that moment, what will happen to you is that your mind, if it's able to remember to ask for help, okay, whatever your mind comes up with, the Buddha or the Bodhisattva will come and help you. That's what's going to happen. Don't have to think too much. Just do it. Okay?
yes.
But it's unlikely that it will make the ghost go away. It will help you temporarily. Okay?
But I want permanent, please.
What?
I don't want it just temporary.
It's better than killing yourself. And that's meant for you for emergency situations. When, for example, Amitabha Buddha is asleep. And you call Amitabha, Amitabha, help me! And he's sleeping, snoring awake. And because you've been reciting all these,
Yes.
and maybe Wanyi will come, maybe Medicine Master Buddha will come, because they care. That's all. Or maybe before Amitabha Buddha go to bed, he says, I'm logging out. You guys take over here. Don't worry about it. They do what they do.
And I had another question, but I had to confess that my faith kind of like not solid anymore.
So what?
To the Buddha and to the Bodhisattva.
I
So
sometimes
I
struggle
feel
with the
so-
faith as well. I say, why am I so poor?
I mean,
Why do you have to suffer so much?
Is it
Why all these people, all they do is give me more?
Is it a sin that you sometimes you in trouble so much, then your faith kind of like you don't know what or who to believe anymore? Is it
Why
normal?
are you here? Why are you here?
I really don't know, but I really want to be here.
If it is a total waste of time, you wouldn't be here.
Yes.
Something inside of you says, I'm getting something out of this. Yes? That's why you showed up. What is that called? Faith. Faith is not the way you think. Somehow, you have enough blessings, because typically for a person like you who's been traumatized for so many years, who's been failed by the medical profession, okay, is so desperate. That person, that kind of person will be a lot worse off. Okay? And is very vulnerable to being manipulated and taken advantage of. Okay? And somehow you keep on coming, even though your voice inside of you says, no, don't go there. Okay? And you manage to ignore it. That's faith. A little bit of faith there. That's all it takes. It's like we here in Gold Forest, we're entitled to talk to each other and smile and laugh and cry. Yeah? But just beyond this wall here, the people who also are entitled to their lives, they talk, they drive by, okay? They make noises. See? And then this won't last forever. You see, now it's no more noise. That's the same with you. Inside of you, there's a voice. It says, it talks you out of it and complains and says, this doesn't work and so forth. But there's also a voice that you are not recognizing. It says, I like this. It's helpful. So the other voice now is louder than the voice that says it's working for you. It's helpful to you. Well, that's part of your learning process, part of your faith development. You don't have faith because you've seen nothing yet. No one dares tell you this is going to work. All you hear is this and that, and then after a while, nothing works. So yes, I understand that you don't believe anything, and you're a lot more suspicious of promises, of course, especially the professionals. That's part of your retribution.
And I have a last question. Is that when I do chant, sitting meditation, because I had an injury, so I only can do like 1 hour at home. Otherwise, then if I do more, then my arm will very stiff, and then I got headache, and then I got a very blurry eye. So I need your suggestion, Master.
1 hour, shame on you. I'm looking at you. She does 1 hour. You ignoring me. Huh? How dare you? Huh? Look, the lady's in trouble. She still manages to do 1 hour. You are fully operational. So who has more faith? You see, she doesn't see it. She sees, I don't really believe. But you believe enough to do 1 hour because it helps you for 1 hour. That's faith. Am I the only one who hears faith? Huh? Right there. You believe for 1 hour. That's a lot more than this healthy person who believes 5 minutes.
Yes, Master, but I see a lot of people, try to encourage me to sit more. And I see a lot of them like sitting 5 or 6 hours.
I'm not talking 5, 6 hours, I'm talking 1 hour first. I'm talking about faith first. Okay, I'm addressing your faith thing. You are, hey lady, I don't believe you anymore. I joke a lot, don't worry. So after an hour, the arm becomes numb, right?
Yes.
And you have a headache, right?
Yes.
Ignore it. Come here.
Okay.
Don't sit by yourself.
Yes, Master.
You come here, sit for an hour, and then you, at the temple, when your arm is numb, or when you have a headache, you're at the temple, you continue. I don't want to do that by yourself. You're doing all the right things. You push yourself at the temple, and your arm will not be numb anymore. And your headache will go away. And if it doesn't work, call the old abbot. You don't know him. It's okay, eventually you'll know. And you tell him, Master, I'm suffering so much. He said, okay, where do you suffer? I will fix it for you. He's in Korea right now, right there. JMT view. There you go. Oh, Abbott, say hello to her. Okay? Yeah.
Thank you,
Just come to the
Master.
temple, it will help you overcome the problem. It's a small problem. Numbness is nothing. It's a good thing. You guys, you see, you get confused by all these things because you don't see the big picture. All right, time is up. Time for a last question. Huệ Mong.
Dạ, Nam Mô Di Đà Phật, con kính chào Thầy. Dạ, gần đây khoảng chừng 1 tháng con tự nhiên thấy người con nó rất là mệt, nó như là nó không còn energy luôn. Rồi nó giống như là bị tuột đường, tay chân nó thường hay bủn rủn, run rẩy. Rồi con ngồi thiền thì con gục, coi như là gục dữ lắm luôn. Rồi con đi bác sĩ thì đo máu, tất cả máu, rồi thì nó nói con là tốt hết, không có gì hết. Thì con xin Thầy dạy cho con cách phải làm như thế nào nữa. Tại vì con không biết là do bệnh lý hay là bệnh tâm linh. Dạ, Nam Mô Di Đà Phật.
Have you been losing weight?
Dạ không, con không có giảm cân. Dạ, nó chỉ bây giờ hiện tại nó giống như là cái đầu nó cứ lân lân, rồi hai con mắt con nó cứ muốn ngủ vậy đó. Mà con ngồi ấy thì nó gục, có khi nó gục tới, nó gục lui, nó gục giống như là người ta mà bị nhiều năm không biết cũ vậy đó. Con không biết làm sao nữa. Con ráng cố gắng, con cũng ráng cố gắng để tu tập thời khóa, nhưng mà nó giống như là nó mệt, giống như là con không còn cái sức lực á. Nó mệt mỏi lắm, như nó làm người biếng nhác, con không hiểu tại sao.
Okay.
Dạ.
Have you tried Starbucks?
Dạ con không có uống cà phê.
You don't do Starbucks?
Dạ không, con không có uống cà phê được. Dạ.
Coca-Cola, I mean Pepsi?
Dạ no. Con không có uống mấy cái đó được. Dạ, uống vô thì bao tử con khó chịu lắm, không uống được. Yeah.
Then it's hopeless. It's nothing that can be done for you. I'm sorry. That's all I know. Okay, so recently it has been happening. Okay, is it all day or only when you meditate?
Dạ cả ngày luôn. Cả ngày nó cũng nó làm như mệt mỏi, làm biếng làm. Rồi nhưng mà con cũng try the best để con làm. thì tối con ngồi thiền, có khi nửa khuya con dậy khoảng 2 giờ con cũng ngồi. Có lúc thì con ngồi cũng được, nhưng mà ngồi khoảng chừng tiếng thì nó bắt đầu nó gục lại. Yeah.
Okay.
Cũng
That's not a problem. The problem is the lack of energy. That's what I'm trying to understand. Okay, whether you feel sleepy or meditating is not a big deal. It's never a big deal. But when you lack energy during the day, okay, first thing you need to check is your diet. Are you eating enough? Okay, and I don't know what kind of doctor you talk to, but because they take tests and everything seems to be normal, then I would talk to a dietitian and find out whether your diet needs to be changed or not. That's why I joked about Starbucks and Pepsi, because it's a lack of sugar. That's why you're low. You're low in sugar. That's why you feel tired. Okay, so it's not physical because your test came back negative. Okay, so that's why you want to talk to a dietitian if possible and find out if your diet is enough. Okay, I will go with that. Okay, just in case. As far as this problem goes, you can check into the temple for a weekend and eat with us, practice with us. Okay. Stay with us for a weekend, Saturday and Sunday, okay, and see if it makes a difference.
Yeah, mô Di Phật. Dạ, con
Okay?
cảm ơn lời khuyên.
I don't think it's a big deal at all. I'm not sure what it is, and I'm cautious because I don't want to give you medical advices. I'm not qualified, okay, but I don't feel it's a big deal at all. You should be worried about. Okay, usually it's because you lack sugar, okay, and so forth. That's why in a temple environment, you eat normally and you eat 3 meals a day, and you follow the morning ceremony, evening ceremony, and practice with them and so forth. See what kind of difference it makes. That's all. Okay. I think it's very simple. I would not worry about the lack of energy. Okay, sometimes it happens because you're low in sugar. Sometimes it happens because you are transitioning. Okay, and so your body is changing. So you go through this transition phase where your body will adapt and your diet will change a little, you eat a little bit less, okay? And so those are natural things that will happen. For example, when we practice intensively, like in the qi, the 4 qi, Chan qi, we're going to have soon, next month, next June, mid-June, I think, okay? Or sometimes around June 8th, June 8th, yeah? When that happens, we go into a special, it's kind of very wonderful time for us because we go into a special mode. We actually will, many of us will go through what you're going through, okay? And it's part of the training so that you can shift gear. Let me put it this simply put, let me tell you. When you're in this mode, if everything is normal and you lack energy and you fall asleep, don't worry. Your body can shift gear. Even if you don't change anything, it will shift gear. You'll be able to operate normally. Okay? And that's a sign that you're healthy. If you're not healthy, then it won't happen. So that's why I'd like you to go to the temple and try it. Okay, eat normally at the temple and see. Don't change anything. You come to the temple, whatever you eat, your Big Mac or whatever. You do Big Mac? Never mind. no Starbucks. How can you live without Starbucks? Huh? What's the point in living? Anyway, you eat normally. Okay, I don't want you to even eat temple's food. You go to the temple and you bring your whatever thing. It doesn't bother us. Okay. Yeah, DoorDash, whatever. Okay. Okay. Eat normally and see what happens. Because as a test in this environment, and that kind of environment, you test it and you see that you follow the thing, if you're tired and so forth, you still follow, and you see how you will shift gear naturally. Then that means your body is normal, okay? There's nothing wrong. But if you cannot shift gear, that means something is wrong, meaning your tests are not adequate. Okay? So that's all. Nothing to worry about. Either way, it's not a big deal. You're just tired, so what's a big deal? I have a Pepsi Cola. Okay? Don't worry. You can figure it out. Okay? It's a minor thing. It's not like the end of the world. Honestly, it's a minor problem. Okay? And actually, for most of you, during the Qi, that's when you don't stop. That's when you don't go back to your room and rest. You keep going. Even if you fall asleep and so forth, you keep going. You know why? Let me close today by telling you. Okay, yeah? Oh, it's just our neighbor. Hola! Just when I was about to say something important, I had to be interrupted. Now I forgot what I wanted to tell you. The point about I was trying to make is regarding, this is an important point, regarding the qis we have. Those 4 qi, Chan qi, is not normal schedule. And so what we do is put you through these drills. And there's a principle behind it. Okay? It's suffering. That is the principle. Meaning that you come to the temple, you go and you practice. These are events. They are not supposed to be pleasant, except when I'm there. And it's pretty pleasant. When I'm not there, this is why that's why I'm not there. Because I'm there, everyone enjoy themselves. Okay.
53회밖에 안 남았네.
Okay, I hear you. So the process of cultivation, especially with Chan Qi, 4 Qi, is that you're supposed to suffer, okay? Because when you go through these periods of training, when you suffer, okay, and you keep at it, something wonderful happens to you. Okay? And this is contrary to you, ordinary people. What happens to the Vietnamese, the Chinese, the immigrants who come here to the US? You all have this problem. You're here as a land of blessings. You're here to have a good life. And you're here like most, can I say white people? No, pale-faced people. Okay, here. They're weak because they're afraid to suffer. And all of you, I came from Vietnam and, I grew up seeing people being killed, my uncle being killed and bleeding to death, okay, and so forth, okay. So to us, suffering, a little bit of leg suffering is not a big deal. But for you, okay, pampered weaklings, okay, you live your life here being afraid to suffer. Okay, so you seek pleasure, and at the same time you're afraid to suffer. Yes or no? You should be all looking down like this. Don't look at me. You should be ashamed of yourself. I'm talking about you. you. Okay? What happens in the modern times is that people, here's how we all function, normal people function. We seek pleasure. Okay? That's important to us. And there's a taboo here where suffering is taboo. What it means is that you're missing out on life. You only learn how to have fun from the so-called pleasures. You don't know how to have fun from suffering. The fun that you unleash when you suffer. That's a secret. This is why nowadays you are weak, because you only stay on the pleasure side. You don't dare venture into the suffering side. We know that. That's why in the Chan school we train you to learn how to endure suffering. And then, amazingly, through that training, you discover that your pleasure now is bigger than before. Listen, folks, our people stuck around because they're not stupid. Look around you. You see anyone stupid? The stupid ones are gone. Okay? They're not stupid because they discovered what I just described to you. They came to us with these pleasures, and they go through the training, and they discover that the pleasure became bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. That's the secret. So how do you want to live your life? Like this? And, ooh, don't make me suffer. I'm so scared of pain and suffering. You should be. But the genius of the Buddha, the genius of the Chan patriarchs is that they use a little bit of suffering to train you to open up that side of your life, that side of your mind where there's pleasure. So you only live half of your life, folks. Okay? And shrinks more and more and more for ordinary people. Now they're afraid. And you get older, now you don't dare to exercise too much anymore. Now you don't dare to eat, this and that, and so forth. So your world shrinks, whereas the China world expands. You endure a little bit more. One of your pleasures is that when you endure a little bit more pain, your head is clearer. That's a pleasure right there, and you can't measure yet. We know that. Otherwise, he wouldn't be here. You ask them who've been here long enough, who've been undergoing the training. They all tell you they can't put their fingers on it, but they're not as afraid of suffering as they used to be. And that's more pleasure for them. 1 minute you're less afraid of suffering, that's 1 more minute of pleasure you can experience. 1 more minute, even more, and more, and more. And it goes way beyond it, folks. Because eventually, in Chan, life is wonderful. No more suffering. So now you live your full life instead of, that's too much suffering. That's for weaklings. God, I'm becoming more blunt every day, don't I? yet guilty. Okay? That's why. Is it simple enough? See, I used to go into length explain to you why, when you suffer, this is what happened to you, and so forth. Who cares? All you care about is, will I have more fun? You will. That's the bottom line. That's what happened to him, that's what happened to him, that's what happened to 2 out of 10. That's not bad. And that's a secret. That is the genius of the Chan patriarchs. That's what I learned. That's why I discovered from Master YongHua's instructions. That's why I'm very grateful. I don't want it to disappear. I want more and more people to take advantage of it. Okay? All right, we stop here today. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next time.